Rand still trading around that 685 level, so not much movement in the Rand this week, but it looks like there's really not much news out there to drive it.
Yes, Rand participants were very indecisive yesterday because there was very little impetus to guide the market. There was also nothing untoward from Governor Marcus yesterday as the central bank's commitment to price stability and reserve accumulation was reiterated. This morning's credit data also didn't materially influence Rand proceedings. However, non-residents have lightened their exposure to SA equities, which could be Rand negative in the medium term, as these inflows are vital to sustaining the funding of the current account.
Let's touch on what the governor had to say last night, because she did say, repeated rather, that the bank will not be soft on inflation. Do you think she came out any more hawkish than she was in the recent MPC statement?
The tone could have been slightly hawkish, but she did mention that they would increase interest rates if the need be, if oil prices and food prices were to continue rising more substantially. However, this will be a considered view, and I think that's one of the key things that we need to take into account, is that the view will be considered. And at this stage, we don't expect the Reserve Bank to hike interest rates this year. We expect the first rate to be in the first quarter of 2012.
Well, those money supply and credit numbers out this morning, starting with the credit number, 5.4% growth in February from just over 5% in January, and it looks like it was a little bit stronger than the market was expecting.
Indeed, it was stronger. Markets were expecting an increase of 5.2%. The main drivers of the increase emanated from installment sales credit and possibly other loans and advances, which is really a proxy for corporate credit. It increased more than expected. Of concern, however, is the fact that mortgage advances did not increase at the same pace that it did the previous month. In fact, the growth rate slowed to about 3.4% from a previous rate of 3.8%.
Money supply growth slowing to 7.5% from 8.2%. Now, that was slower than expected by the market. Any reasons given for that?
I think the main reason for the slowdown was the fact that PSE, particularly mortgage advances, slowed during the month.
View for the Rand going forward. We saw the dollar gaining a little bit of ground against the euro yesterday. That was after the St. Louis Federal Reserve Chairman James Bullard said they could potentially curtail the quantitative easing program. That saw the dollar gain some ground. The Rand still hovering quite steady though at 685, battling to break stronger at this stage though.
I do expect the Rand to remain within the range of about 683 to 693. However, if the quantitative easing is reduced, indications were a reduction of about $100 billion. And if this is the case, the dollar will strengthen on the back of the fact that confidence in the economy would improve. However, at this stage, we do expect the Rand to remain within the current range.